Hello, welcome to Facebook Live and YouTube Live with Selene. I always forget that part. I used to record only on Facebook and then download it and upload to YouTube, but now I go to Facebook and YouTube simultaneously, which I think is pretty cool. I hope that you guys are having a great day. I am. I had an appointment, which went over. So, then I got home and I was prepping for today's Facebook Live because I wanted to show you a couple of things. And I got sidetracked. So I'll show you what I got sidetracked with. It's pretty cool. The brand new, well, it's coming. Let's switch over here. Radiant Sunflowers bundle. Okay, let me come in a little tighter so you can see this nice. So, this stamp set and die suite, it's part of a suite. It comes with 2 designer series papers, a bundle, a designer series paper that can be used with a sticker sheet. And if you haven't seen these sticker sheets, they're amazing. They remind me of the old Simply Scrapping kits that we used to have. And I am just opening all of this live with you. Look at how pretty these are. So these mimic the stamps that I can see already. Hang on. Get my fingers around it. Here we go. But these are not like average stickers. Can I just tell you? They are super stickers. They are cardstock based, so they're really thick on your finger. You can see they don't fold over flat. They're like cardstock. And you can put them on dimensionals. You can paint them with Wink of Stella, of course, like everything in my life. But there's a lot of really cool fonts. So Happy Fall or Happy Together. Remember this, Beautiful Days. So these, there's a lot of happiness waiting for you if you like to scrapbook. But these would be good in card making as well. I mean, You Are My Sunshine. Our little pumpkin for anybody that's welcoming a new baby. We have, my hairdresser is pregnant. Be fun to make her a page for when her little boy arrives. Anyway, so easily distracted, right? So there's the sticker sheet, and I opened up my dies and started to die cut some of these shapes out. This one is stuck in the die. If you ever have a die that the paper doesn't want to release, well, first you can use the pointer on your take your pick to kind of release it, or a push pin. And in theory, let me show you how this doesn't work. That's funny. You got to get it high enough. And I guess if I put my glasses back on, I'd be able to see it better. But this is the center of a flower. Okay. That'll help. So as I was going, I spotted these little shapes. So there's a couple of vases, and this is obviously for a stamped sentiment. There's the center of some flowers. One of them went flying. I did do all 3 sizes, but then what I like to do when I open a new set is I like to put my dies back on a magnetic thing so I can see what I've got. And I just cut out a few of these. I didn't go crazy, but there we go. We'll just put them back in as orderly a fashion as I can. There were a few shapes that I didn't actually cut out, but I wanted to start with a little bit of something to play with and show you. This marries up to one of the stamps in the set. So it marries up there. And there's die cuts for all of these little bits and bobs, including that cute little butterfly. So there's leaves. And I can get rid of this. So what I started doing with my dies to make it easier to get in and out, hang on. This is backwards, so I'm going to fix it while I've got it open, in theory. Here. So I like to put this face backwards. Hey, MJ. And then I close my container, and then that will leave the area free for this to slide in and out, because I don't want to mess with it more than once. So all the fussy part is done, and now when it sits on my shelf in my little tote, it will go. Now you'll also see that the sleeve and the extra paper for my stamp set is the same. So now I've got these on the back so I can see them, and these will slide in and out really easy. Fancy trick number one. So I took all of those stamps and I stuck them on blocks, and I did cut out some shapes that go with the set so that when we do get down to business and start playing, we'll have some stuff that's already done. I also went in, whoop, one that got away. How many people do that? I don't want to lose any of this, so slide that back in. All right. So I was on another group today and saw somebody asking about cutting paper, like how to cut paper so that you're not wasting it if you're making multiples. Now, MJ here is part of my team, and we have a swap every month. And I don't know how many are swapping just yet. I think that the deadline is coming up in a week or so. But when we swap, sometimes we'll make 12, cards. And so with card math, the 12 is a nice number for designer paper. But so I showed you the stamp set and the dies for this bundle. Let's open this up. Sunflower Fields. I'm happy to play with some new things, because, I'm still kind of finishing up some of the things that just went on last chance. There's a whole bunch of things on sale. I think I just threw something out by accident. I'll be looking through the trash. Anyway, Sunflower Fields. So when you look at the back of your designer paper, you've got a roadmap as to what colors are in it. And when I am buying product, I will say, pick 2 or 3 colors and a neutral and go from there, because then you'll have loads and loads of paper to play with, rather than trying to have every color in Stampin' Up's offering. So we could start by taking a look at this paper. That's the front, and that's the back. So you get 2 sheets of each design. I didn't think I would like that, but now that I see it in person, wow, it's pretty. It would make good masculine cards. And it still has the flicker of, I don't know, is it pollen? Kind of cool. Rustic, maybe country feel. Gorgeous. Oh, Golden Glow. I didn't think I was going to like Golden Glow, because typically I'm not in love with some of our yellows, but this one, they knocked it out of the park. And Cajun Craze on the back. So that's this is almost kind of like 2 side Bs in a way, because they're both sort of muted. And again, this is available for pre-order for demonstrators. So if you're looking for this paper, you're not going to find it until September. But if you were interested in getting a discount and becoming a demonstrator, you should let me know, or let your demonstrator know so that they can sign you up. Here is, so this is interesting. I'm seeing crumb cake, but it's not really crumb cake, is it? I want to, nope, it is. Now it's got me curious. Is it, so what I did was I grabbed a little bit of every color that was in this pack to see if I could match. But, I think that this might be pecan, however you say it. And it's not listed in the color chart. So if I decide to use pecan, I will have to get up and go get it. So again, this is, I'm guessing daffodil and Golden Glow. Let's take a look. So there's the cardstock, Daffodil, and there's the Golden Glow. So they're both, right? They're both in there. That's pretty. And Espresso, and I think that's Pecan, even though it wasn't listed. So that's something to make a note of. Oh, and there it is again. It's like coffee, isn't it pretty? Is it? I gotta double check it now. Peach pie is in there, but not pecan. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna tell you what's in there. So then there's a whole nother set of paper that goes with the suite. Radiant foils. And again, I'm just digging into this for the very first time. Now I just need to get the container open. There's also ribbon and dots that go with this one. And I grabbed them all so you could see them. So Radiant foils. Wow. I didn't expect it to be so sparkly. So this is a single-sided design. It's very kind of sheen. You can see the sparkle. Hey, Julie. This is the back. So I wouldn't use the back for anything on this one. But so there's 1, 2 of this pattern. And then there's a stripe. And again, like, why don't we have a coffee set available? This would be so perfect for coffee cards. Can you see like a half circle stained, you know, great for masculine designs. Up, and then that sunflower. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh. Well, good to see you, MJ. Thanks for stopping by. So pretty. Okay, so you get 6 sheets, 2 of each of 3 different designs on the Radiant foils. Okay, so there's that goes with. I don't know if we'll cut into that today. And then I wanted to show you, again, to get ready today, not knowing what we were going to do, I embossed some things. So this comes out of one of the new embossing folders. Please don't ask me what it's called. I don't remember. But that's the front, that's the back, and you can decide whether you want the embossed or the debossed side. And what I like about these bigger folders is you can put 2 side by side and roll it through. So if you're prepping for a class, you get double the pleasure. This one is the elusive sunflower one. And again, side by side when I ran it through, just to kind of see what I had for patterns. Another one that I thought would go good with this is the daisy embossing folder. I think I used that this week. Actually, I used that this week on this card because I thought the scarecrow needed to be done in pink. So I'll be documenting this, and this is going to go out to my email subscribers as a free PDF later this month. Let's see. And then this is another sneak peek one. This is one that's coming out in September. So pretty. Hey, Jolene, good to see you. So that's 4 potential embossing folders that would go really good with this suite. And that first one, if you want to see it, I did it with crumb cake. So that's it on a crumb cake card. And again, this will go out to anybody that got the product of the month from me. So that will be later this month. Actually, you know what's really cool about this one? The product of the month, I colored this with blends. So a dark pumpkin and a light pumpkin, and I did several layers, and then I just used the color lifter as a blending tool to get it to kind of get in the spots where I didn't want to color, but it is so super sheen. I love this paper. This is the paper that is available for $5 with the $75 order. So if you place a $75 order, you can put this in your cart for only $5, which I think is pretty cool. All right, so on another group today, I saw someone asking questions about cutting paper for making cards. So I thought that maybe we would talk about that. So there's a couple of things that I like to do with paper. Let's pick one first. Might as well design my swap while we're at it, huh? All right, let's use this one. I'm not pecan. Pecan. Hey, Robin. Good to see you. All right. So a 12 by 12, I'm going to zoom out a little. If you have a 12 by 12 and you were to cut it at 3, so 3, 6, 9, you'd get 4 pieces of 3 by 12, right? And then 3 by 3, you would get 16 from a sheet of paper, which is kind of cool if you're making swaps and you have 16 people that are swapping. Another way you could cut this down is 3 by 4. And if you cut 3 inches and then 4 inches, you would get 12 pieces. Or if you went 4 by 4, you would get 9 pieces. So that's like really basic starter. How do I get the most from my designer paper? So today I was thinking I would start with a 3 3/4 inch piece of designer series paper. Now we can do some of the other ones if you want. We'll just sit and play for a bit, but I'm going to start with this one. So this is 3 3/4 square to start. Actually, I should have went 3 1/2. So I'm going to cut it down. Oh, changed my mind already. So I'm going to go 3 1/2. I lied. It's funny. Sorry about that. Because I'm visualizing in my head the card that I want to make. Okay. This is awfully pretty, isn't it? All right. So now I'm going to take this and I want to see both sides. So I'm going to take this and cut it corner to corner in half. So let's see if I can show you a little bit closer here. All right. Love that. You might be wondering what I'm after here, but I'm gonna get there. So I'm gonna cut another piece that's 3 3/4 by 5, and I'll go to the top here. And of course, I'm using thick paper, which is funny. I should have grabbed more regular, but that's okay. I love a good thick white. So that's 3 3/4 inches wide. And here we can just lay this on, and that's a 3 1/2 inch square. And it goes all the way to the top of that frame. So this is one way to make a card, right? So out of a 3 1/2 inch piece square, I would have enough to make 9 cards. And this is just one layout. I mean, you could leave it the way that it is and just stick it down and then put a focal point, but I'm gonna flip it over for interest. And it's weird how it's not lining up for me, like I did something wrong. Hang on. Give it a hot minute. And I say hot, it is warm in my house today. I have to turn the air conditioning down before my husband comes home because he will definitely not. I'm always cold. So if you're here and hanging out of these fall colors, are you a fall person? I love fall. And I love making cards for fall. All right, let's see. It's a little tall for my liking, so I'm going to trim it again. I think I went past where I can cut it. No, I did good. Okay. Take a little off here and there. It's not an, a precise art form, right? But this is one way to do it. So corner to corner, point to point, flip one side over, and we have the start to a card. We could put the sentiment here. We could turn it and put it here. What do we have? Let's see if it fits. Hello, friend would fit there nicely. Or we can stamp it on one of these pieces that I trimmed out before I started. So let's see. While we're at it, I'll show you that these are the dots and the ribbon that go with this suite. So I'm going to get under it with my take your pick and just pull that piece off. So that's some ribbon if we decide we want to use ribbon. And of course the Radiant Gems complete this suite. Do you have a favorite color here that you're seeing? If you do, let me know what it is. I think I'm going to... See, I wanted to early espresso until I saw the ribbon. And now I really think that I should do Mossy Meadow, but I don't see Mossy Meadow on my rack. So it's probably in a bucket with a prepped project already. But let's just put some ink on this bad boy. Hello, friend. This is my first time using this stamp set. I love that. And it looks like it's inking up nice and clean. Oh, so pretty. And that corner does seem a little bit like it needs something. I was curious when I was die cutting these if these flowers lined up with the stamp, but they do not. This one does. So if I were going to stamp a flower, I would just turn it and burn until I find where to line it up. So I'm looking straight through my stamp to line this up. And that's a good spot. It almost looks like a ribbon there, you know, where it breaks here. And I am too far away from my stamp, so I'm going to come in a little closer. I really do enjoy... Oh, and I didn't do it right. And I only stamped one, darn it. Okay, that's okay. I like to fussy cut anyway. So if you miss, you can always come in and just trim any funny little bits. And actually, as fussy cutting goes, this is actually pretty easy work. And you see the trick is to move the paper and not the scissor. Leave the scissor right in your hand steady. So let's have some fun with this. I think we could add a little blendy to it. This is so relaxing. Sorry if you're just sitting and watching me cut. I love that. This is like, I know that this is some people's like stress point, like that they don't like to cut. If Debbie was watching, she'd be like, "Oh, what are you doing, Selene?" But it's how to make it better if you stamp off like I did, and that was fine. Looks good, doesn't it? All right, I am going to grab a piece of plastic from the trash and put that down on my table. I've got some daffodil here and a blending brush. Oh, I know. I'm with you. Little Lemon Press is saying that she loves making fall colors, that the colors are so rich. I couldn't agree more. Okay, so that's daffodil, which is coming out darker than I imagined. I was kind of thinking that I would also need Golden Glow, and I'm gonna go in for a little bit, because why not? Sponge off on my side, on my plastic here. Ooh, look at that. I'm gonna go in here. Pretty, pretty. And then if I want to pick up a little bit of this, I'm just going to smush the plastic like that. And I want to give this a little bit of rich color. Now, I didn't want to completely turn it brown, so I'm just going a little bit at a time. And I'm going to add the brown to the center with the Wink of Stella because it's easy and it's here, and why not? And the trick would be to just not have any gaps. So hopefully you can see better now that I've got it in close. That's as tight as I can get it in the camera. But we got a little yellow in there. We got a little highlight. I keep wanting to go to that ink pad. I better move it before I stick my brush in there. Although a little wink in your ink pad will never hurt anything. So that's blended pretty good. I'm going to now add a little bit darker around the edges to make it more rich. I'm going to swipe off on the back of this, on the back of my project, because nobody's going to see it. And then I'm going to add some color in here, same way. I wonder if I have, oh, I do. Okay, so I'm looking at this and the color is super rich at this point, but I'm wondering how fun it would be to add some highlights with a white gel pen. So that's what I'm gonna do. Our main project has a lot of white on it. I'm just gonna move my paint splotch here. Here, let's put it on something so you can see better. And then let's take a walk with a gel pen. Come on, you know you want to. Well, isn't that embarrassing? Hang on. The trick with these gel pens is to slow down, and of course, I'm not very good at slow right now. Let's see if I can get it to, yep, there it goes. See, you really got to slow down with them. And I'm going to try not to go over the brown line. I want to go right beside it to add white highlights. I went in it, but that's okay. You get the idea. I gotta slow down. I'm excited. Well, I ran around all day, so then coming home to you guys and being able to sit and craft and play for a little bit is just what I needed to finish off my day. Picked up some stuff for supper. What are you guys having for supper? So later on tonight, I'm going to do a quick live when my husband gets home, and we are going to pull a winner. Over the weekend, I asked those of you that were making something to share a project on a post on this page. Later tonight, we're going to put all of the names in a bag and draw it. So I'm going to wait for Brian to do that if he's not opposed to being on camera. Although he's quite the reel master these days. He makes a reel whenever he cooks on the grill for us. And uses his Boston accent. If you don't follow him, you should. He's funny. He'll give you the weather report too. Let's see. Almost all the way around. What do you guys think? Do you think that this adds or takes away? I'm going to add some white dots in here too. So I'm not going on the brown at all. I'm kind of making my own dots. And again, this is just on the fly. This is like the first card, right? So the first card, we did 3.5-inch square for our designer series paper. And now I'm going to try and marry this up with our starter layout. I want to like cover it up. Let's see. Oof. So I like this, but I think I'm not going to use it for this card. I think I'm going to do something different with this one, and I'm going to use this on its own because it's so pretty. So I don't know what size this paper is, but I've been eyeballing this sheet here. Let's grab this and see what size it is first. It's too pretty. I don't want to stick it down. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut it down to 5 by 3 3/4. And get ready to layer a little bit, because honestly, I just think that that needs to be its own card. What do you guys think? Like, hello. All right, like hello friend. All right, let me grab, I was going through my cards this weekend and picking out some cards for my sister-in-law for her birthday. And what I found myself doing was all the clean and simple ones were the ones that I liked the most. So right now I'm cutting this to 5 by 5 1/4 by 4, which is a 1/4 inch up from what I just cut my white paper down, so that I'll have a nice dark layer underneath. I just love clean and simple, and sometimes you don't need to go crazy. But in a way, this isn't clean and simple. You figure this is the white gel pen, and there's a lot going on there, so I just want to keep it simple. It's beautiful. All right, I'm going to get up and get myself a white card base because I have those pre-cut, hopefully. Oh, I spoke too soon. I guess I don't. Well, then I'm going to get some more white paper. Oh. So this one, we're going to score it at 5 1/2 and then cut it down the middle at 4 1/4. So let me, my messy table, getting really messy in here, huh? Okay, so I'm scoring it 5 1/2, and then I'm going to cut it the other way at 4 1/4. And it's funny because as long as I've been making cards, this is the card size that we use over and over again, and it just doesn't get old. Let's see. Oh, and did you see that? This side's a little bit longer than that side, so that's going to be my front. Now, we don't have any green on here, right? But maybe we should put a little bit of ribbon, like, just to pull it together. And I do like to, if I use color in one place, I like to use the color again. So we'll figure out how we can bring the mossy in again. I don't like how it's twisty. I'm going to try again. So I am literally just tying my shoes, for those of you wondering what the heck I'm doing. I don't try to worry too much. And the only time I have to fix is if it comes out twisty. So. All right. All right, so you guys tell me, is the ribbon too much? I'm going to wait and listen to you guys. You like it? You like the ribbon? Jolene said she likes it. I'll let you guys have a minute. I'll take a little taste of my water. All right, so let's start with, so do you like it just the plain, or do you think that it could use a little bit of green? The other thing I could do, I don't have to use the bow, I could make like a swash behind it. Maybe I'll do that. We'll start by sticking this down to our base. And then this can go on top, freshly cut. Look at how deeply etched that embossing folder is. It's so pretty. I love the new things. Hard to go wrong. And maybe we'll go this way, so you can tell me if you like the ribbon or not. Just seeing which way I'm going here. So I'm just going to roll this up and down. So I don't even need to tie. And it will add a little interest without. So you guys tell me, do you want the ribbon or no ribbon? Yay or nay? Well, I like the bow better. Go figure. I don't like the swash. You like the ribbon. Okay, Julie. Julie called it. So let's do a bow instead. Maybe we'll make it a little bow. I like little bows. It's more delicate, I think. It's cute. We'll leave it long though. This ribbon is so cute. I love the gingham. All right, let me see here. I have a song stuck in my head. I actually used it on my reel earlier today. I heard it on a cruise ship and I added it to my playlist, and it's one of those that's like, I think they call it an earworm, like I can't get it out of my head. It's going to be bigger. I lied. Don't know. I don't know. And of course it stuck down while I was messing with it. I definitely want that on dimensionals. It is so fun to be in the studio finally and getting to create. Like, I've been busy trying to get caught up after being away, and it's just nice to be here. All right, I'm mad at this now. I'm gonna pull down the, oops, sorry. Clang. I'm gonna use the ribbon, the bow maker, because my ribbon is acting funny. And this, I know I can get a straight bow. And I think I want it small. Alexis has these in her store. She just changed over to a new platform, Shopify. And she's running a sale, 15% off all of her 3D printed things. I know this is my old wooden one, but I was busy. I tied 160 bows on her bow maker this week. It's still in the bucket with the bows I tied. That's better. Big size. That's just me relaxing, which is nice. Maybe we'll put it there. That's the move. Okay, I got it now. I was trying to get it in between them, and I was like, no, that's not working. So it needed to be off to the side. So here we go. Hello, friend. The font on this stamp set is killing me. It is so pretty. And then we can grab a glue dot. This is, she has a new one. This is her new deluxe. I don't know if it's called that, but the old one is kind of in the front, and then she added a spot for scissors. And then this is money, because I was having all of these in with this, and it was always falling over. And now there's all of these spots in the back to hold the extra doodads. So I'm very happy with the new model of tool organizers. If you're looking to find her, she's on Facebook at Kempton Creations. She makes all sorts of cool organizer things. Every time she comes home, she's like, hey, Mom, I gotta fix that. Like my stamp set collection, she's got me all organized now. All right, so that's card 1. And I didn't end up using the designer paper, which is hysterical. All right, let's move on. Let's go back to this one. Should we color this? Maybe. I do have a die cut bit here, so maybe we should just bring in our coloring thingy-mabob, and we'll add some color to this bad boy. So this is just basic white cut cardstock. And I did have the center just 2 seconds ago. There it is. Anybody else love daisies? I do. It's like my favorite thing. I need... So I like this, but I think I want it to be more golden. And then in that last card, I need to put some gems on it so that we have more green, because I put a green thing on it, but then I usually like to have more than one. Let me see. Cute. I wonder if I have enough in my brush. No, not yet. Okay. So I'm going to squeeze to prime my brush a little bit to bring a little bit of extra wink into my brush, and then I'm going to flick it against another tool, hopefully, to get it to... And I'm going to be patient because I don't want it to blob out either. If you've ever blobbed out, you understand what I'm trying to avoid. Come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Not a hint. It's all fun and games until you do too much and it comes like blaring out. There it is. So I don't know if the camera is picking this up. It is cool. Hang on, I'll show you in a second. I'm getting the bag and everything else. Okay. So let me pick this up so you can just see just a little flick here and there. Like it's all over the bag, but it's not necessarily. I don't want to touch it either. Sometimes I do it over the trash barrel just because it does make a little bit of a mess, but there it goes. So now it's all over. Just the little joys. Okay. Happiness. So maybe we'll pick a smaller stamp so that we can play with this guy. And again, I'm going to put that big ink thing over to the side. This one says, enjoy. That might be kind of nice. Wishing you so much happiness. Oh, I like that too. You can tuck that right in there. Let's do that one. And I do like the idea of putting this flower over the seam. And we can take that other piece of ribbon, maybe now it's not long enough. But I'm gonna put a little adhesive on the back of this, and we'll do the same thing. Like this time it's gonna look pretty. Whoa, look at that. Need more adhesive. More adhesive. Ta-da. Okay. Beautiful. Yowza. I like that. Okay. Dimensionals. See, I just needed to be patient with it. I just wasn't ready for it to come together. So this is the 3.5-inch square that we just cut in half, and I flipped one side over. So the pecan is showing, the pecan that's not listed in the paper. Colors, it happens. They couldn't possibly get every color every time, but when in doubt, they say to look online, that online has a better lineup of the colors. I wonder if it says it online under that paper. I'd have to go check. Okay, I want that to go a different way, so I'm going to add a little adhesive back there because I'm obsessing now. There we go. With Winkastella Fling. So underneath this, should we use brown? Or do you think we should go to the green because we've used the green once? Maybe we'll add, we did brown twice. We could do the green. What do you guys think? You tell me, brown or green, and we'll come back and finish this card. While I'm waiting for you guys to answer on that, I'm going to bring this one back in and add some of our radiant gems. And I'm just going to go like this. That's pretty, huh? It's funny though, it's not the same green. I want to say that those must be Old Olive. So that's going to bug me. It's like adding another color again. Yeah, let me fix it. There's also Golden Glow on these. So we can just swap it out. Oh, chasing these. The things we do for cards. Let's see. Oh yeah, see? It's worth it though. Like, much better. And then maybe a couple down here. So that's the finished. And I do have a green one that like tucked under there. I'll get rid of that. It'll be the bonus gem. Surprise, where did you come from? There it is. Okay. So green. Okay, I got you. So we're going to finish that card with the green. Let's bring in the trimmer. I need a little bit of space to actually cut. It's funny. Here's another card base going the other way. Dun, dun, dun. We'll hold on to that. And this would be 5 1/4. Well, we could go 5 1/8. Let's go 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, because the other one is 5 by 3 3/4. So this will give a nice thin border, so it won't be overdone. So here's that. And this border over here still looks weird to me, the white. It's not quite straight. But I'd rather trim it and get it right before I stick it down than push a bad design. Close enough. I'm going to take my scissors and add a little texture to this paper. Our regular cardstock is dyed all the way through, so you can shred the side of it and make a sweater. Joking, but you won't see the white in the middle, as the two-tone cardstock has a white core, so if you emboss that, you can actually sand it with a sanding block and show the white middle. But in this case, I really like the rustic look of having a little bit of rough edges, and maybe it will take care of any imperfections in my cutting. Because it's not about perfection, right? It's about just making a card. So you can always fix it by adding a little zhuzh. As I'm looking at this flower, I could have flung Wink Stella at the whole card. That would have been fun. Because then the sparkles would end up like on the layers too. But at fall time, like think about the leaves you find outside this time of year, you know, or in a few months. In a month. Let's not rush it. But when you find a leaf outside, whoop, Mother Nature has done this and then some. If there's a rip, it's fine. It'll give it a little bit more character too, because this edge was really plain. And like I said, I can knit you a sweater later with the leftovers. Let's see. So I think that the green worked really good. And I love the rough edges. What do you guys think? Like, it gives it a little bit more character, doesn't it? Like, I want to curl this edge. That's my husband saying he's on his way home. Ding. Boy, I miss my coworker, I'll tell you that. Sometimes it's hard to get back in the groove. I haven't had my assistant in a few weeks, like a month. She was gone and I was gone. I was gone for a week and she's gone for 2. And man, it gets quiet in here. It's even quieter when you're like in a room talking to yourself. and I know you guys are there. You guys are there watching, but oh, was I out of the frame that whole time? Oh my gosh! Here, I'm just going to town on this because I like the rough edges. Okay, so maybe a white base. I'm thinking that we need to bring some of that flower back. So how about if we cut a base out of this? So we'll score this time. So we go backwards when we do this. I'm going to score it 4 1/4 and then cut it 5 1/2. So if you're new to card making, and I have a brand new girl who's never made a card, so she's asking me for measurements. 4 1/4 and 5 1/2 are the only 2 ways to cut an 8 1/2 and 11 1/2 to make a medium card base like that. It's really pretty. I want to rough that edge up too. because it looks funny to be in straight after all the love I gave the other one, right? This edge, I don't necessarily want to rip it, but I do want to give it a little love, a little zhuzh. Okay, and then the edges can. For people who don't like distressing, I'm sorry. My friend Liz would be cringing right now. Here we go. So just a little zhuzh. Bring it all back in. Oh, wow. That's fun. Okay, so this one is your 3.5. Let's go back to that piece of, so we've done 2 cards so far. 3.5 square, cut at the diagonal, one side flipped over, and then this one we didn't end up using designer paper at all. So let's go back to the designer paper for a minute. In the beginning of the video, we talked about 3x3, but I'm gonna go a little smaller, and actually I have a piece here. I'm gonna go 2 3/4 inch square. So if you did a 2 3/4 inch square off your designer paper, you would get 16 from a sheet. And I don't want to cut that flower, it's too pretty. So 2 3/4 going this way. That's going to be my focal point. So pretty. Now, I have some white that's already cut I'm going to grab. So this is just regular white as opposed to the thick white I have on the table. And I want a piece for this to go 4x3. Now, although I'm cutting it out of some pieces that I already have cut, I want to tell you the significance of this. 4x3, if you're cutting it out of an 8.5 by 11, you get 6 from a sheet. Okay? So I'm going to layer this on top of this. So 2 3/4 square, 3x4. Now, if I were to cut this in half, 4 1/4, 3 1/4, 3 1/4, 3 1/4, you would get 2, 4, 6 pieces from one sheet. And again, I'm going to cut it from pieces that I have on the table already because I don't want to waste paper either to show you. But this is going to be 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and I would get 6 of them from one sheet of cardstock. This is another fun go-to layout that you can use with your designer paper and have it go much further. Okay, so how about those embossed pieces? Does it need it? Probably not. It's small. Need a bigger one. This one's a bit bigger. I like that. Okay. So let's look at what we have for sentiments. Thinking of you. That's nice. And I'm going to stick with the brown for the sentiments. Now here I've got my designer paper. I'm going to flip it over and use it to line up. If I were to make a mistake, it would be on the back. And we've got a little bit of green and a little bit of brown. We've got daffodil, golden glow, Cajun craze, all in this designer paper. But when I'm designing with it, you notice just a couple of colors goes a long way. You don't necessarily need to mimic all of the colors. Let me see what size this is. This is a small one too. I think this is the biggest one. So this is the daisy embossing folder. Now I'm just having fun. So we'll just tie a bit of this on. Hopefully I do better with the bow this time. If not, whatever. There's always a bow maker. Okay, so you see how I tied my bow and the ribbon is kind of going into my sentiment a little. Oh, wait, no. Ha, I lied. You could take it off if that happens to you and just slip it back over so you don't have to retie the bow. But this one just straightened itself out. I love that. Put your fingers in the loop, pull, hold the knot, scooch, scooch, and then snip, snip. Yowza. That's pretty. So this is, again, is a 2 3/4 inch square of your designer paper, and you get all of that, like, it's a wow, I think. So pretty. So now, what do we want to put this on for a base? Do we want to use white? Or do we want to maybe do the golden glow? Nope, I think it's a white. Let me test it with this piece because this one's already cut. And if we think it should stay white, we'll cut. Oh yeah, all day long. Okay. My goodness, couldn't get any better than that. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this down to 5 1/4. I'm sorry, 5 1/2 card base. And then I'll score it in half at 4 1/4, and that's 3 projects. So just prepping a little bit before you start. Doing a few die cuts with the shapes to see what you want to come up with. Wow, it's so pretty. I can't even. Glasses on, that'll help. Yowza. Just clean and simple and beautiful, and I mean, what more could you need? So remember how I used the green dots on the other card and I ended up swapping them for the golden glow ones? On this one, I'm going to go back to the green because although I used this ribbon, these dots are more olive, and the olive is actually in the paper, so it's not going to look weird. I could just go to town with these. Oh my gosh. Put it out there. I don't know. I don't like that one. It's fine. Okay. Get away from me. I'm gonna go this way instead. Doesn't, you know, it doesn't even need it. Like, I'm looking at it on camera and I'm saying, you know, but that's okay. Not a fan. I like it clean. Did I just put a mark on it? I did. That was a sand eraser, by the way. halo removal tool. I think this one is better without the dots, and that's okay. It's just so pretty on its own. It just doesn't need anything. All right, moving on. So we did 2 3/4 square, and you can get 16 from a piece. You could do 3 by 3 and do one less layer, but I like that on 2 layers. I think it's pretty. We did 3 1/2 and cut it in half corner to corner and flipped one side over and put it on a 3 3/4 by 5. And then this one just kind of happened because, yeah, it's awesome on its own. Doesn't need anything. So let's go back to the designer paper and let's talk about 3 by 4. You get 12 from a sheet. But I'm going to, again, put an extra layer in there. So I'm going to go 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. I saw this one. I'm trying to decide which way I want it to go. I think it goes that way. So 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Hey, MJ. See, I just talked that entire time that you were away. So 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then I'm gonna do 4 by 3. And again, if I was cutting out of that one piece of paper, I'd have, 5 more of these because it's a pretty cool technique that you can get 6 out of a sheet of cardstock. So 4 by 3. There we go. And then let's use the green. Oh, you know what? We haven't used. So do you see it? There's secret C in there. Let's use secret C. So that changes things entirely. 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. That means that I need a secret C ink pad. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. So this is another common measurement that I use in card making. Let's see. Here's my secret C ink pad. So we did hello friend. There's enjoy. We did wishing you happiness, thinking of you. Enjoy is right here, but I think I'm gonna go back to the original hello friend. Hello friend. Hello secret C. Let's see. And we'll stamp that in secret C. Hello. Hi. So pretty. Can you even? So I'm gonna use a secret C gem here. Uh-huh. So we could put this on here. Almost there, huh? I don't know if I want that one or if I want this new one. This is like a checkerboard. And again, this one is pre-order. Let's do that. And then I think I should have a white card base hanging out over here from one of the other ones we did. Yep, there it is. Okie doke. My goodness. This one is so 3D embossed that almost jumps off the page by itself. There's no dimensionals on that or anything, but it just stands up so nice. Hey, Jill. Good to see you. All right, let's see. Go 1, 2, 3. I think I'm going to stick these together first. It sure is nice to be on the fly with you guys today. And legit, this was just like ways to get the best out of your card math, like for when you're cutting paper. So this one is, you get 12 from a sheet, and you could just put 3 by 4, but that extra layer makes such a difference. So I did 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, layered it on a 4 by 3, and layered that on a 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. Just an extra layer makes such a difference sometimes. Now, I don't know if I want the ribbon or not, but I had to tie it to see what I was up against here. I know that I love that focal point where it is. I don't know. I think it's better without it this time. Or maybe we could do the swoosh thing we did with the other card. Okay. And I have another thing. I have another change I want to make. I'm going to put another layer behind that white. It's so pretty. It just needs a little. So I'm cutting this 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to put that embossed layer on there to bring the secret C in again. The ribbon wasn't doing it for me, so we'll add a layer. Oh yeah, look at that. How regal. I'm going to stick this flat and put the sentiment up with a set of dimensionals. So again, all of this whole suite is on pre-order for demonstrators. It'll be out in September. It is my pick for the first thing that goes on back order. It is stunning. So if you can get in on it early, I can imagine that this would be a great club offering if I use it for stamp clubs. So yeah, I don't think it needs the ribbon. It's so pretty just on its own. And I got to use the Secret C gems by pulling in the Secret C. Yowzer. How about, hope I don't wreck it. I'm gonna take a chance. We'll see. Can you tell it's a butterfly? Not really. Not from where I'm sitting. Kinda can. Let me paint them. It's funny that the ink didn't move at all. That's weird. Usually it'll pick, the wink will pick that right up, but I'm gonna have to add a little this way. Now it looks like a butterfly, does it? You tell me. Looks like he's standing on the word friend. It's all good. Where all butterflies stand, I guess. It could almost use to be like die cut, and it does have a die for it in this set. I just didn't cut it out before the video. But that's card number 4. So there's one. Here's another one. So, okay, 3.5 square, cut diagonal, 1 flipped over. This is 2 3/4 in the middle, matted with a 4 by 3 and then a 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. This one I just couldn't put designer paper with it because it's so pretty, but we did the white gel pen. After it was really dark, so we added the white gel pen. And then this one is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, layered again on 4 by 3 and 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. Pretty darn cool. Yeah, those are the biggest ones. If you're doing a 4 by 3, you can also, or you go back to 3 3/4 by 2 3/4, so you get 12 from a sheet again. 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. Then if you have a white that's like a, I need a different piece of paper here. Let's see what size this one is. 3 3/4 by 5. I want a bigger one. I just grabbed some off my shelf, so you just never know what's. So this one's a 4 by 5 1/4. So if this is 4 inches across, this is 3 3/4 inches across, and it's going to layer up like this. So that's another way to do your layers. So 3 3/4 by 2 3/4 on the designer paper. And you could tie a ribbon across and make a bow, or you could tie a ribbon this way to make a layer. Thank you, thank you. Robin's saying she loves the layers. And then I'm gonna just tie a bow here. We'll make one more and then we'll call it. But I do have like so many ideas for this suite. It's unbelievable. We didn't even break into the other kind of designer paper, the metallic one. I think those would be fun with like a one sheet wonder, because you get 6 sheets, 2 of each in 3 different designs. Okay, so I've got a bow tied on the front of this, and I'm gonna just give that a minute. And then I'm gonna take, we could do this. So this is the image, the biggest image in the set. It's pretty. I'm just gonna stamp it first to see what we're up against. And then I'll make a plan. Oh, wow. This is so pretty. Yikes. Oh, okay. You guys are gonna, my brain is firing now, boy. So I'm gonna stamp this a few times. Because I have an idea, and it's gonna take a minute. So just so you know. So what I did this in a live a few weeks ago, where you can make a template for your blending brushes. So I've got white cardstock here, and I'm gonna cut out just the inside of the leaves. So I have to get to them. So yes, I have to, kind of cut my paper up a bit, but I'm gonna cut everything that's green out of here. So that's the first leaf. You might be thinking, ruh-roh, Selene, what are you doing? But this is like super cool. Once you have them, you can store your template in the stamp set and use it over and over again. And I'm only cutting out the parts that I want green right now. And I even am taking a chance because I don't know where my Mossy Meadow ink pad is currently, but that's okay. We'll find it. It'll be worth it. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull in from this one and do the same thing. I'm just gonna cut out the inside of everything I want green. And I'll start this live, but it's gonna take me a bit, so we can, I can just post the final card if you want, or if you want to stay and hang with me while I do this, but I'm gonna first cut out everything that's green, and then I'm gonna cut out all the sunflower pieces. So I see a green piece here. So I'm gonna again cut down the flower and only cut out the leaf. So there's a green piece there. And then there's greens here, and then there's greens there. That is such a pretty shape. Oof, kills me. All right, go in here. Like, you guys know where I'm going with this? It's such a great technique, and it makes, like, if I wanted to do swaps with this stamp set, it would make doing swaps with this stamp set so easy, because once you have the template made, you can just lay it over your stamped image and color. So if you like to color and you want to color each individual piece in, you can, but if you want it simple and beautiful color and you don't mind doing a little bit of fussy cutting, this is a cool technique. All right, so I got that piece out, and now I need those 3 leaves. Do you guys see any other green? I don't think I do. Oh, there's one. You see it? There's a stem, and there's a stem here, so I got a little bit more work to do. That's okay. So I'm gonna get in there and just cut the stem. And I would recommend if you're gonna do this, to use thick white cardstock, because your template will hold up longer than if you use basic white or a thin cardstock. I actually did it on basic white here, and I'm kind of kicking myself because I know that I'm gonna want to use this over and over. Okay, so there's a stem. Got to get all the pieces. Here's a stem. So anything that you want green, you'll cut out. Okay, got all my stems done. And then 3 more leaves. How's that for patience? All right, let's see. Then I just have to find the ink pad. You know, it's the little things. I bet I don't have to look too far. Actually, I think I just spotted it. You can imagine when you're designing classes this time of year that they'll all start to use the same colors, you know. One more leaf. So this will be my green template, and then I'll have a yellow one that will sub for both daffodil and golden glow, because I was kind of using the same blending brush for it anyway, because the colors will blend together and that'll be great. So the first bit is just for the green. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to grab a blending brush, and then we just have to lay this over our stamped image and find where it is. All right. 1 second. I'm going to grab a blending brush. And Mossy Meadow. Here we go. Because the Mossy Meadow is the same color as the ribbon that we did, right? So here's my Mossy Meadow. And then I'm going to lay it over my project and make sure it lines up perfect. And then I'm going to work my way around because this is a bigger image than I did it with the first time. So I'm going to pull a little, swipe off, and then... So every place where there's green, those stems, the leaf, oh my gosh, it's so cool. There's going to be like multiple shades of green in here. And it's going to be so soft because it's a blending brush, right? So there's the green. Here's a close-up. What do you guys think? So there's a obvious spot that I missed here, but I can hit it with Wink and that'll fix that one. And I could just go back into my template and cut it a little thicker, or I can use that as a positive and just hit it with Wink after. Because I love the variation in color that you get with the blending brush. How cool is that? You guys like it? Or did I lose you? I know it's a long video. All right, so now I got to do the same thing and cut the 4 flowers out. And I don't think it'll be a big deal. Like, we can get this done. Start here and just... And like I said, you want to use thick white cardstock. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Jill. Appreciate it. My daughter is calling me and I am live. So my phone is like, sorry, kiddo, I'm still live. Hopefully she calls her dad. He's on his way home. Anyway, so that's the green, right? So I'm going to just cut the flower out. Well, I'm telling you, like, once you have it, like, yes, it's a bit of work up front, but now I have my green template and I won't need to do that again. Like, I've cut it out and it's going to be there for me when I go to pick it up again. But when I saw this flower, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be another one. And this one, okay, so there's definitely, let's see. Too close to it. I can cut the 2 flowers out at the same time. Hopefully I don't mess this up. Let me see. But once it's done, you know, it's so easy. I do have a do not disturb on, but she and her dad and my mom are the only 3 people that can ring through when I'm live. Okay, almost there. So I get 2 of them in this run. So yeah, it's a bit of work, but it's so cool. Hmm. There it goes. All right, so there's the flowers. Put that on another project, right? Okay, and then I get 2 more. So this one and this one. Selene says her hand's over here. Okay. I didn't know that I was going to do this before I jumped on. That's why this isn't on the fly. But it's kind of a cool technique. Just think of how many flower sets you have. You could do it with any of them. Although I have to say, I'm a huge fan of sunflowers and daisies. This is like such a great offering. I'm impressed Stampin' Up. Jeez, my hands are getting tired. Thanks for hanging out with me, though. It's way more fun with you guys on board. So tell me, what are you guys having for dinner? Because that's like the question in my house nightly. What's for supper? Last night we did chicken, and it's my daughter was away with her friends, and she has this new chicken aversion. She can't eat chicken base, chicken stock. So think when you go out to a restaurant, it's in everything, like rice. It's in like all the soup starters. Poor kid. So we enjoyed chicken last night because she wasn't home. We might do it again just because she went to line dancing with my friend Cheryl. Ooh, I feel like I'm gonna like cut this right off. Hopefully not. But it would be a beautiful night to line dance. All right, I'm gonna cut some of that off. Just because. See, I'm worried about like actually cutting. I don't want to sever that. So here, let's go this way. Tricky, tricky. But it's all set now. So to make sure that I like hold it down good when I go to blend with it. All right, ta-da. Let's go. That's the 3rd flower. That one's a little tricky, but it can be done. Just so when you go to blend with it, you'll have to be careful. Let's see. Those are the first two. And just get it lined up flat. All right, so then I have one more flower to cut out. Whew, maimed it. But you know what I could do? I could take another piece of paper and just kind of to make sure that it sits where it needs to sit. I'll add adhesive. Cut it thin. And then use it to piece this snug. So now it's all back together. And I'll just give that a trim so that it doesn't stick to anything. Or I could even just fold it over, but that might make a mark, so I'll go this way. There. That way you're not contending with the brush moving it, so it's all back together. All right, let me go in from the bottom with this one. Last flower. We got this. So if you didn't post on the weekend thread of something that you've been making, and you've got a photo of something that you made, definitely post it, because my husband and I are going to do a Facebook Live and give away a prize to someone just for playing. And thanks for those that already posted a photo of something you've made. That's the best way to inspire each other. So I thank you for sharing. Here we go. Oof. We're almost there. I feel like I've been saying that for 20 minutes, but it's all good. Then I'll have these, and when I do sit down to do my team swaps, maybe I will use this template, because it'll be super easy to just do my blending brushes over it and whip cards out. So this is the hard part. This is the part that takes all the time. But after this is done, I'll be able to make cards with this template until it falls apart. Ta-da. Whoosa. All right, let's go. I'm going to put these ink pads away before I make a mess. But we did quite a bit today. We made 5 projects on this. Let's see. Okay, so there's my green template. And here is Daffodil Delight. And we'll line that up on top of the stamped image and go slow. Let's see. Where's my leaf? There it is. You won't believe your eyes. And there are some stamp sets that Stampin' Up! Actually makes masks for. But if they don't, this is like super easy. Stay. All right, now I'm going to add some Golden Glow. And sponge off so I don't end up with any yuckies on my project. You can always add more, but once you add too much, it's a no-go. So it's always better to layer on and then decide after if you like it. So I've got 2 colors going on there, and then when I move my template, that's what it comes out like. So here we go. And then we can bring that couple of things back in. We've got the Wink of Stella Awesomeness over here. We can add some dark and blend that in. And did you guys like the technique with the white gel pen? Should we use that again on this one? Let me know. It's really pretty. Wow. Okay, we've got white gel pen. Where'd it go? Oh, we can't use it if I lose it. Well, I guess it wasn't meant to be on this one. That's okay. I am going to cut this down. So the measurement on this was 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. We tied our ribbon. So let's see. If I locate the white gel pen, it could still happen. Oh, it's under here. I found it. Okay, cool. We've got a few things going on this table. Let's see. I'm gonna cut this down to whatever size this is, and I'm just gonna make it like a rectangle. So I'm not even, because I haven't played with this yet. So let's see what we've got for space. So that's 3 1/4. And that's 2 1/2. So 2 1/2 by 3 1/4. Oop. Oh, I cut the leaf off. Darn it. It happens. That's okay. So we'll go 3 1/2 to layer it by 2 3/4. That's pretty. Let's drag that gel pen back in. Got to get it started here. And I'm going to try and draw the line beside the dark line. So I want it like dark, light, dark, light. This might be the longest Facebook Live I've ever done. I was having fun today. I'll get all these cards posted though this week. It'll be fun. I can show them. This is the one that like is going to take all the white, I think. Ooh, so pretty. I love the new white gel pens. They really add to a project. Okay. So there's that. And then, so now whenever I stamp with this image, I have my yellow template and my green template, and it'll be easier to color these using my blending brushes. Now, which way do I want this to go? Oh, that looks like it's gonna sit there. Ooh, so pretty. I need like a 1/2-inch strip. So we haven't used the Enjoy stamp yet. So let's do that. Actually, I want less than a half, whatever this is. 3/8 inch strip. And we found the mousy ink pad. Here we go. Enjoy. Sometimes the fanciest tools are just the ones that are in our hands. Okay, so then I've got this here. We'll add to our card. I like it down here. So enjoy. And then I think I want this on a Mossy Meadow base. So that's what we're going to go with that. Cut this down to a card base, which is 5.5. And score it at 4.25. Now, I know I don't usually do this long of a Facebook Live. These products are really fun to work with. So if they're not on your wish list yet, I hope that they have been added. Like I said, I'll post the final projects as we go. But wow, wowzer! Look at that. Whew. Worth the work. And now I have that template. So enjoy. I love it. So soft and pretty. And I suppose we should add a couple of gems if I can make up my mind, you know, because it's a thing today. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll see you again next Tuesday. That was a marathon. I will post all of these, and I hope that you have a great night. Talk to you soon.